Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, the administration is requesting an executive session for personnel issues as indicated in the packet last Friday under revised code 121.22G1. We will be requesting a second one at the end of council with no action to be taken. This is the second offer of an executive session in the past 4 days. We hope council will see fit to pass that. Included in that will be council president, the law director, the safety service director, and the mayor. I am advising the department heads they may leave at this break so we have more room for people to sit and the fire department doesn't have to worry about other issues. So that's our request, Mr. President.
Point of order, sir.
Yes.
Mayor, I asked you, when did you offer an executive session in the last 4 days? And I can tell you this, I don't believe you.
Sir, I did.
You did to who?
To you, Friday.
No, you did not.
I'm afraid I witnessed that.
Yes, you did.
I said if you'd like to have an executive session, I'll be here, but I was not going to stay in the room that it was full. But I said twice, because you said, are you staying? And I said, if you want an executive session, the second time, I'll be here.
You ran out of the room so fast, I didn't even hear what you said.
Well, I'm not, you know, I'm sorry you didn't hear me, but obviously somebody did, because I said it.
Okay, maybe he was thinking about it. Mr. President,
Mr. Ross?
I'm, at the end of council, I move that we go into the 2 executive sessions
Now and at the end.
now and at the end.
Yes.
To executive session with all the people that the mayor mentioned.
Is there a second?
Second.
We've moved and seconded to have an executive session now and not at the end of this meeting. All those in further discussion?
It's gotta be
Good,
roll.
good.
Roll call.
I'm getting there, folks. I remember.
Sorry.
No?
Sherry,
Yes.
Doherty,
No.
Edwards,
No.
Jack Means,
No.
King,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Rome,
Yes.
Free.
Motion carried. We will be going into executive session. All those except those listed will please leave at this time. We will reconvene to conduct the normal business of this council.
I have a question. Actually, yeah, would you explain to everybody here what the rules are regarding an executive session? Since we chased them all out of the room so we could have this private conversation, would you please, if anybody here doesn't understand what the total ramifications of that are, would you please explain it?
Okay. An executive session is a provision that's provided, it's in the revised code, and there are certain things that council does. I think there's 8 subsections, and those things are done in private, and the revised code provides that they're done in private, and actually, if council speaks about it or someone breaks that, there's a potential civil penalty for that. And so, it's the law. I guess that's the basic way. I'm sorry, I can't cite code and verse since I wasn't prepared to answer that question off the top of my head. But the point is that there are certain things that the law tells us you shouldn't talk about in public. And so, since it's my job to make sure that we follow the law, that's why we have executive session for things like labor negotiations, for personnel decisions, when there's a UDAG loan. What's the other one? Pending litigation. Oh, Mayor's got it for me. Thank you, sir.
Next page.
Marketing plans, things like that. So, it's the purchase of property, things that are kept confidential by federal law or state statutes, security agreements, conferences with an attorney. So, and there's a lot of things, and so that's why, and I apologize for that, that's why everyone went out into the hall so that we could have our executive session. Does that help, sir? Was that sufficient?
Good enough for now.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to add one more thing. We can do no actions or motions in executive session. All actions of the legislature must be in public.
Correct. And so I guess I didn't think of that since we didn't consider any action. Yeah, no action was taken, no votes, no legislation, nothing like that.
Other questions?
So yeah, I got another question.
Yes.
So, of all the things that I just said, am I now barred from saying any of those things again in this meeting? If I do, what are you guys gonna do about it?
Chief, I've counseled you about confidentiality. You're putting me in a difficult position. You can
Put me in
say,
a difficult position.
you can ask questions, but we can't answer them in public session. We can answer more in private than we can public. And so the attempt was to try and give you more information. And I apologize if that's not satisfactory.
I think you missed the point he's asking. What he's asking is, with the conversations that we had, can he relate any of those conversations to Mrs. Jones next door that, well, we talked about da-da-da-da-da?
Oh, no, he can't.
Does that help? On that clarification of everybody.
Nice job, guys.
Other questions for Ms. Harmon?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Madam Law Director, as you told everybody in the room, you're my lawyer.
Yes, sir.
So when I get to the point where you're gonna apply a civil penalty, or you think I'm doing something wrong, I want you to stop me.
I will counsel you to the best of my ability. I'm not going to put a civil penalty on you. Come on, Larry.
You know, I'm a passionate guy. We had a meeting on Friday to try to get some answers. And council showed up, administration did not. So since then, I've spent a lot of time thinking about what happened, the questions that I had, did a lot of research. And as I did, I can tell you that the feelings inside me welled up. Some of you remember many years ago when the police department was not held highly in the public trust. And some of you helped me, or maybe I helped you, change that. So you should expect to have in me a person who is a true fan of process, who clearly knows right from wrong, has a tremendous amount of passion for the City of Alliance. I spent 40 years in various positions protecting you, supporting you. Now I'm told, and I think you all saw the vote, let's go to an executive session. You know what Doherty said? No. Edwards said no. Giacomitti's said no. The rest said yes. In our process, that means we go to this super duper private meeting where if we talk about anything that we said in there, we become the bad guys. I've never been a bad guy. That's not what I do. But I can tell you this much. I kind of think I got baited. Now that I look at it, let's go into an executive session and let's talk about all this stuff that you can't talk about later. I got played. Because you know what? I got passion. And I had a lot of questions. And I got no answers. And it doesn't end here. I want you to know that. I got to compliment Councilwoman Giacomitti's because she said, I've got questions, but they're going to wait. And I would leave this meeting right now out of disgust if I didn't want to hear the questions that she's going to ask. And that is my report. Thank you.
Questions? Moving on. Planning, zoning, and housing.